All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It is Wednesday. You know what that means? It is Wanderlust Wednesday. That's when we show you a band that maybe you're not familiar with, or it probably is a song you're familiar with, but you're like, I don't know who that is. Or for some of you, you're going to be like, I love this band. And as I've said, I do have a lot of stuff up here. And some of it's way out there. And that's not necessarily today. So you're going to get a little bit of everything because we've been doing this for a year and a half. So sometimes I'm going to dig deep. But like I said, not today. Many of you know this band. Some of you do not. What are we talking about today? We're talking about the band Modest Mouse. I'm pretty sure I have not covered this band in the year and a half I've been doing this. I'm certain of it, all right? I think it has not been covered yet. If I have, we're just doing it again today anyway, but I don't think I have. Modest Mouse. Love this band. Love this guy's voice. Love their music. That's the thing, right? Like, someone gonna be like, you gotta check this out. I love this music. Check it out. But if you're not into their voice or their sound, you're like, I don't like anything that they have to do, right? But if you dig their music and the voice, you're like, yeah, this is good stuff, right? So Modest Mouse from Washington State, formed in 1992, based out of Portland, Oregon. Tonight we rock Portland. Do you know the reference? I'll wait for it. Typical story, doing their thing, trying to get out a record deal, putting out their stuff, a delay in a record, influenced by bands like Talking Heads, XTC, we should cover them. The Pixies, we should cover them. All good stuff, right? But they're trying to do their thing, and they end up doing a what they called a fairly straightforward commercial song that does get picked up by Nissan for a commercial. They admittedly said, you know what, you gotta do what you gotta do, to get exposure. That's what you gotta do. So they open up for bands like Cake, De La Soul, and eventually, finally, April 2004, they get their break with, they put stuff out before that, but they get their commercial break with Good News for People Who Love Bad News. And this is where I was introduced to Modest Mouse. And I don't know if I heard it on 104 out in Connecticut. Thank you, D. Snyder. I don't know if I heard it on satellite radio. Who knows? But this is where we pick up. And this is just such good music. 04 and then 07, we were dead before the ship even sank. Those two records right there, those two are the meat in the middle of the Big Mac. That's like what we're talking about. Some other good stuff after that, but this is right where the good stuff is. And if you want to check this music out, that's what you're doing today. You're listening to Modest Mouse. You're pulling it up and you're going to Apple Music or whatever. You're like Modest Mouse, and you're like, I'm listening to the 10 most popular songs by then, and you're gonna listen to it a few times or several times. It always takes more than one time, but it's just so interesting and funky and cool, and I love his voice, and their music is just like all those things we talked about. They nailed it when they said Talking Heads, XTC, Pixies. You gotta check this out. What are we doing? What are we talking about for songs? This is what we're saying. You gotta listen to Miss the Boat, awesome. Dashboard, awesome. The World at Large, awesome. All right, if you know one song by them, any song, it's Float On. Because you've heard Float On somewhere. Float On is like the one that, if you're going to know any, it's that one. So I want to know, do you know this band? Is that the only song you know by them? But it's Float On. King Rat, love it. Trailer Trash, Ocean Breeze Salty, Lampshades on Fire, We Are Between. These are all awesome songs. I'm just saying, I don't know what your music jam is. I don't know what you're into, but like, if you're just like, Mark, you're throwing all this stuff at us. I don't know if I can do it. Just play this stuff and say, like, do you like it? Do you not like it? I want to hear from you. That's what I love. Is this new to you? Is it not new to you? Some of you are going to be like, Mark, I love Modest Mouse. Great. I just want to hear from you, because if you haven't and you play it and you're like, wow, this is some good stuff, appreciate the ad from the Rock Cave. All right, that's your assignment today. Modest Mouse. Looking forward to the rest of the week. We got lots coming down the pike. Whatever you're doing today, rock on. As usual, I'll catch you on the flip side.